Imagine a scenario where someone upstaged you in every area you originally excelled in, improving and innovating on all your strengths. This is exactly what Sucker Punch have now done to Ubisoft. Assassin's Creed games have had huge open worlds that felt generic. Ghosts of Yotei feels more diverse. Assassin's Creed worlds have activities that felt repetitive, boring and redundant. Ghosts of Yotei are interesting and rewarding. Combat in Assassin's Creed felt long-winded and spongy. Ghost of Yotei feels crisp and responsive. In every aspect where Ubisoft's formula once stood out, Ghosts of Yotei has come in and redefined each, making what I believe is a better game in every way. Like, imagine if there were other gaming analysis YouTubers out there who wrote better essays, were more intelligent, funnier, smarter and better looking than me. That would... Okay, alright, scratch that part. Whatever. This video isn't about me, it's about Ghosts of Yotei. This new entry from Sucker Punch has been getting rave reviews since its release, which picks up from where the original entry started, not just providing a solid game, but sort of redefining the open world formula. For the past few days, I've been playing this game non-stop in order to give a true review, but as someone who also played Assassin's Creed Shadows, I realized how this entry was literally the same game, but just better in every way. In this video, I will explain how Sucker Punch have not only perfected Ubisoft's open world formula, but have also improved on it in every way possible. And I will also explain how this game redefined the open world genre, whilst also explaining that despite the game being great, it hasn't yet quite managed to reach the peak heights of the all-time greats. So without further ado, let's get into it, and if you're new here, please consider subscribing. So the first major difference is world design. To be clear, I don't want to take anything away from Assassin's Creed Shadows. Its open world is clearly handcrafted and visually stunning. That said, Assassin's Creed games often suffer from a sense of repetition. Odyssey's vast map of Greece, whilst impressive, made every island feel the same. Identical vegetation, buildings and landmarks from start to finish. Valhalla had the same issue, with each English region looking nearly identical, and Origins followed suit with its endless desert landscapes. To be fair, that is historically accurate. I mean, I live in England and it really does all look the same, but the result of that design choice is a world that starts to feel repetitive, leaving players fatigued and burned out long before the credits roll. Contrast this to Ghosts of Yotei, which splits its open world into 6 distinct looking regions. The grasslands feature vibrant green meadows. Ishikari Plain showcases golden yellow backdrops with autumn leaves. With Takashi Range, you get dramatic rocky terrain and cold colours. The Naori Wilds brings in a lush forest, and Toshio Ridge stands out with its snowy landscapes, and Oshima Coast brings in deep blues with coastal backdrops. Because every region in Ghosts of Yotei looks and feels completely different, the world always feels fresh, like stepping into a new adventure each time. It follows the same formula that made Elden Ring so engaging, where every zone feels distinct and exciting to explore. Unlike Assassin's Creed, which often feels like playing the same map 10 times over, Ghosts of Yotei gives you 6 unique worlds to experience once. That variety keeps exploration exciting and prevents the burnout that so many open world games fall into. In this way, they have fixed one of Ubisoft's biggest criticisms, in making it so that a giant open world avoids feeling repetitive. Then there are the open world activities. In Assassin's Creed games, these tasks are spread evenly across massive maps, rewarding players with XP and then eventually skill points. But because the worlds are so huge, the same activities are constantly repeated. In Assassin's Creed Shadows, for example, you'll take over identical castles, fight the same enemies and find the same rewards in the same locations. After doing that once, you've basically seen it all. What should feel rewarding ends up feeling tedious. It's clear that, to fill in these enormous maps, Ubisoft often have to resort to copy-pasting objectives. Bandit camps, shrines, castles, all looking and playing exactly the same. On the surface, it seems like there's 100 things to do, but when you realize it's just 10 activities repeated 10 times each, it stops feeling meaningful and starts feeling like busy work. Ghosts of Yotei follows a similar formula to Assassin's Creed, but the key difference is that it keeps everything feeling fresh. Every activity is short, unique, and genuinely rewarding. Bamboo cuts offer different puzzles and quick time challenges, granting spirit points that make you stronger. Hot springs play out as interactive scenes that boost your max health. Shrines feature unique puzzles. I even had to climb a mountain to find one, and each grants a new skill point. Wolf dens include their own side quests and unlock wolf abilities, while painting areas and music spots let you create art or learn new songs that lead to treasure and charms. Every one of these activities offers something new and worthwhile. Never busy work, always rewarding. The game isn't scaled to your level, so you can skip them altogether, but if you do seek them out, you will be rewarded with abilities that really do make you feel stronger. And how can I not mention exploration? For years, Ubisoft has struggled with its points of interest system. Question marks everywhere, glowing markers, and a compass constantly telling you where to go. You end up staring at the map and compass more than the actual world, bouncing from icon to icon. Ghosts of Yotei fixes this with one simple feature: the guiding wind. It's subtle, but it completely changes how you explore. Instead of chasing map markers, you're following the wind, staying immersed in the world around you. Locations are discovered organically or through maps that you find, making exploration feel genuine again. Meanwhile, Assassin's Creed still hands you everything up front, killing that sense of discovery. Sucker Punch solved a problem that Ubisoft's been struggling with for decades, and they nailed it in one game. That says a lot. Combat is another major difference. Assassin's Creed relies on enemy scaling. Every region and enemy has a set level, meaning you need to grind just to survive in the new areas. It makes the world feel restricted instead of open. Enemies also become sponges, taking endless hits to defeat, which kills the sense of realism. On top of that, gear is constantly tied to your level. The moment you level up, your old weapons and armor are underpowered, forcing you to swap them out again and again. Nothing ever feels personal or truly yours. Ghosts of Yotei handles leveling completely differently. Every enemy sits around the same difficulty, and your sword deals consistent damage from start to finish. Leveling up through activities boosts your stats, adds weapon bonuses, and grants helpful charms, but it doesn't fundamentally change the combat. In fact, you could finish the entire game without upgrading anything once. It'd be tough, but it'd be totally possible because the combat is so fair, crisp, and skill-based. That's a huge contrast to Assassin's Creed Shadows, where you're forced to grind just to match enemy levels. If you try to fight an enemy above your level, you'll lose, regardless of your skill set. Ghosts of Yotei strikes the perfect balance. You still feel progression and growth, but fights remain grounded, challenging, and rewarding. Ubisoft could really learn from that setup. Now let's talk about the story. Surely Ubisoft had an undercover go into Sucker Punch's camp, right? Ghosts of Yotei is about playing as a woman whose family member was attacked by a bunch of bandits in masks, and you seek revenge. Assassin's Creed Shadows plotline? Exactly the same, but the big difference between the two is that Ubisoft's story often loses flow due to the padded open world. You have to constantly do many activities in X zone before being able to progress the plotline. Ghosts of Yotei just keeps you moving from target to target, never losing its flow. But besides that, Ghosts of Yotei has better writing, better voice acting, better cutscenes, better set pieces, and more iconic moments. It is the same story, but Ghosts of Yotei's is just better in each way a story should be. Side quests are handled better as well, as each one tells a unique plotline with new characters. Assassin's Creed Shadows often feels like a to-do list full of bounty objectives. They feel surface level, whereas Ghosts of Yotei feels more in-depth. Besides that, the music score is much better. By the way, they added a lo-fi music mode, which you can have on in the background, and I can't get enough of that mode. If you haven't put it on and you're playing the game, honestly, try it. The cutscenes are more engaging and the characters are more memorable. Across the board, when it comes to storytelling and writing, Ghosts of Yotei feels more mature, whereas Assassin's Creed Shadows still has that juvenile, more light-hearted approach. Depending on which one you prefer, that can make a huge difference. Now, I don't want this video to come across as an entire hate video on Assassin's Creed Shadows. I generally found that game fine. It was an okay time. I would say it was more concise than Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and it was one of the better Assassin's Creed entries in a long time. But a lot of the issues that we often saw in their earlier titles were once again on repeat. I made a video on this here, but it often feels like Ubisoft really struggles to make a game engaging. It feels like they're so fixated on trying to make a game as big as possible that they end up watering down the whole experience. Climb one tower, it's fun. Climb 10, boring. Clear one castle, awesome. Clear 10 more clones, monotonous. This has been Ubisoft's biggest issue for years, but they've also struggled with their writing, their overuse of map markers and UI, and their games feeling bloated by their use of level zones. These are not new problems. We've been talking about these issues for years, and I've made many videos on this subject myself, but now Sucker Punch have essentially come along and fixed them all. Exploration? Fixed. Open world activities? Addressed. Open world size? Done. Combat? Sorted. Progression? Check. It's like they came in, saw every part where Ubisoft struggled, and managed to make it far better. And this leads me to my main point. What is next for Ubisoft? You see, at its core, Ghosts of Yotei, like its predecessor before it, Ghost of Tsushima, is an Ubisoft formula game. For me, it's a strong 8 out of 10 game, but it isn't perfect. I prefer Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 because it offers incredible role-playing depth. I prefer Baldur's Gate 3 because it has so much player freedom in decision making. I prefer Witcher 3 because its writing, characters and quest design is far more in depth. Some people have compared Ghosts of Yotei to Red Dead Redemption 2, but that game is still miles ahead in what it offers. Ghosts of Yotei doesn't let you sit in a bar and have a drink. You don't make decisions that change the narrative. NPCs mainly stand idly around. It's not as in-depth as those games, but it's not trying to be. Ubisoft and Sucker Punch games offer beautiful, surface-level worlds built for action and exploration, but they lack the lived-in depth of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 or Red Dead Redemption 2. Games that let you slow down, exist in their world, and truly live the experience, rather than just play through it. Sucker Punch happily embraces the Ubisoft model, keeping things moving and pushing the player onwards. But here's where the issue is for Ubisoft. What happens if Sucker Punch branches out? Right now there is an audience for Ubisoft games. There always will be. Though not my personal preference, some people generally love their structure and they find games like Kingdom Come Deliverance too slow or overly complicated. They prefer these Ubisoft-like games that keep them moving from point to point, and the sales numbers reflect that. So, as a result, Ubisoft never had to compete with the Red Dead Redemptions of this world. They had their own space in the market and had a dedicated type of fan base. But, have no doubts, Sucker Punch are coming for that exact same fanbase. And the scariest part, they do everything better than Ubisoft do. They exceed where they lack, they succeed where they fail. Right now, it's just Assassin's Creed Shadows versus Ghosts of Yotei. But imagine if Sucker Punch, off the success of their newest game, starts branching out. What if they offer more titles in more locations? And what if, like they did with Ghosts of Yotei, they keep improving on each release? Will there finally be a day where fans say Ubisoft games are a worse version of a Sucker Punch game? I absolutely believe that could be the case if things continue in this direction. In the end, Ghosts of Yotei shows just how far an open world game can go when every element is carefully refined. Sucker Punch took the foundation that Ubisoft built and fixed the issues that held it back, from its repetitive worlds, tedious activities, clunky combat, and shallow exploration. The result is a game that feels fresh, rewarding, and immersive at every turn. It doesn't just improve on the Ubisoft formula, it redefines it. While it may not yet reach the deep role-playing and narrative heights of Witcher 3 or Red Dead Redemption 2, it proves that Ubisoft's once dominant open-world approach can be outdone, and that the future of action-adventure games is wide open, with Sucker Punch leading the way. But anyway, that's it for this one, but what do you guys think? Have you played both games? If so, which one did you prefer and why? And do you think that this could be the beginning of the end for Ubisoft? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please give it the thumbs up, and if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I'm Av Gaming, where we do video game analysis, reviews, news, and interviews, and so much more. Thanks for watching. Av out.